Storyland itself has been around for so long because of who New Orleans is, almost as a person. We're very interested in taking care, I think, of our traditions and taking care of things that once was. And not all cities are like that, but also people like to come here because they used to come here with their grandparents, or they used to come here as a birthday party as a kid. And I think the people of New Orleans are pretty nostalgic in that way. To be able to come into the park doesn't cost anything. And one other great thing is we don't charge for parking. We're open every day of the year. We are weather dependent in most of our areas. Season passes are great. That includes the amusement park and the botanical garden, which is wonderful, and Storyland. But if you don't get a season pass, or you don't get some type of gift from someone with lots and lots of tickets in it, it's only $5 to come into Storyland. And kids under 36 inches are free. So if you've got little toddlers running around, it's a great place to let them run around and experience New Orleans under the shaded trees. And one really wonderful thing about the park is City Park is the home to the planet's largest collection of mature live oaks. On the whole planet, this is the place to come for oak trees. Storyland was built originally in the 1950s. Over the years, it has had updates, but nothing really as big as 1988, and then in 2019. When we first opened it in the 50s, times were very different. For example, at the opening, they actually had live animals at the opening. So we had a Bo Peep, and there was like sheep running all around. So that's definitely not something we would do today. I think that if you think about Storyland, it is for people of all ages. However, if you can kind of run around till around age 8 or 9, it's probably the age group that probably is seen here the most. However, if you have a toddler and you have an older kid, there's slides, there's musical instruments, there's interactive things. We've got boats, little miniature boats you can drive with remote, steering wheels. There's lots of things for kids of all ages to do, but you do see the majority of the people that are in here are small kids. Well, one thing that makes Storyland different is being in the park, but also being next to an amusement park, which right now you probably can hear a bunch of kids screaming on one of the amusement park rides. It's a place I don't think that's very like any place else in the region, but definitely not in New Orleans. And I like to say about the park is, we're not just outside the city, we're literally in the heart of New Orleans. So whether you want to take a walk and get away and kind of breathe in our 60-acre forest, or if you're interested in bringing the kids someplace they can run around, or if you want beignets, we have Café du Monde, we have 2 amazing museums, 2 sculpture gardens, we have football stadiums, you can rent bikes, anything that someone's interested in, we really have here. I think that the stories that are here in the Storyland are pretty iconic stories, whether it's Alice in Wonderland or Cinderella. But there are things in City Park Storyland that are kind of new. And there's a few items in here that really don't talk necessarily about a fairy tale. They're just more about children. For example, we have a Little Red Schoolhouse. We have Boudreaux's musical instruments. So there are things here for kids of all ages that I think they can hold on to. But a lot of them are based on stories. And so whether or not the kid knows the story or they see something for the first time and then their parent tells them the story, they're pretty iconic pieces. And then I think, kids are usually they question quite a lot. So if there's something they don't know, they probably ask about it. But it's pretty well-known stuff. 3 Little Pigs, Jack and Jill. We have a Little Mermaid, Humpty Dumpty, things like that. So it's pretty exciting, and I think kids really do love it. And maybe it does spur them to later go to the library and check out these books.